So we all know that Mario Kart 9 is supposed to be a launch title for the Switch 2, and as for me, I'm hoping both the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD will be on the Switch 2 as well as a launch title themselves. But I also wouldn't mind those two games being on the Switch 1 because honestly, I think that there's gonna be a lot of people, including my sister, who are not ready to make the transition just yet. Mostly because, well, in my sister's case, she has an Animal Crossing Switch that she doesn't want to sell just yet, so that is totally understandable. I have a Zelda Switch OLED on me that I'm not ready to get rid of just yet. So I'm really hoping that Nintendo will make a Zelda Switch 2 console at some point. Okay, so what I do want to talk about, however, are some rumored Switch games coming to the Switch 2. This comes from Switch 2 Stock on Twitter or X. Now, keep in mind, though, these are mostly loosely brainstorm. These are really not official. These are just rumors. So the only thing I can say is that most of these look pretty legit to me. The titles that are rumored are Mario Kart 9. Well, that's already given. A new 3D Mario game, Mario Odyssey 2. I'm not quite sure that that's a possibility, but it could be. Metroid Prime 4, we already know that that's supposed to be coming out pretty soon. And that might be a Switch 2 launch title as well. Zelda Breath of the Wild Remastered. I don't know why people would want that. Breath of the Wild is like 8 years old right now at this point, so there's really no need to remaster a game that's like already perfect as it is. Now, I'll talk more about Zelda being more realistic later, but the rest of the list down here, like Final Fantasy Remake, and the rest of these other games, these I don't think are going to be on the Switch 2. It's just not possible. And then over here, we have another list of rumored games that are supposed to be on the next console. Mario and Rabbids, I can see being a possibility, but the rest, I am not quite sure. Now, another thing that this comes from Andre from Game Explain. He answered a question that was on Twitter as well. What was the Wii U's best game that wasn't ported to Switch? And he also answered Nintendo Land. Now, in case you guys don't know, Nintendo Land is like it's a pretty basically it's a fun, basic but fun game to play. It's like a virtual version of Super Nintendo World, and in my opinion, I think it was like very well made at the time. And it's definitely a game that I miss quite heavily. So there's really all there's to about the rumors. But I also want to talk a little bit more about why I don't want The Legend of Zelda to be like super duper realistic. So if you guys remember playing Twilight Princess, you know that Nintendo tried to be somewhat realistic with the graphics for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Honestly, I feel like they did a pretty good job getting that out there, except it wasn't like super realistic. They still made it like they made it real, like semi-realistic with their own art style. It's what made the game so great as a whole, because while it was realistic, it had some very unique stuff to the character designs, though. Let's be honest here, the character designs, most of them anyway, were absolutely creepy. But the thing is, though, that Twilight Princess was meant to be like a Zelda game with a very dark plot. So I think the fact that these characters have like some creepy designs actually fit well with the dark plot to it. So there's really that. I really cannot wait to see what this console has yet to offer in the future. There's a direct coming up in April that I'm definitely going to be watching. Hopefully it will happen like after work for me to see what they have to offer. All I can say is, though, I am praying to the Triforce right now. Gods of the Triforce, hear what I desire. I just want the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD to be on the Switch 2, or at least on the Switch 1. Either way, I don't really care. It makes better sense to put these two games on both consoles because, like I said, a lot of people are not going to have the money to get the Switch 2 yet, which I understand. And the Switch 1 still needs like another year or two to keep on going before Nintendo decides to just shut off the Switch 1 support, which will happen, of course, eventually. But when as time goes on, old systems have to be put to rest for good. That's just how it is. So anyway, there's really all there is to it for this video. I'm definitely gonna be talking a lot more about the Switch 2 and other videos later on. So with that being said, until next time, this is Major League Gaming logging out. I'll see you guys later.